take a gap year. Absolutely. Like you can keep thinking about it in your mind, but it will never be true unless you try to do it. And that's I said, okay, let's go. If
I'm shy.
me too now in this exact moment is no, it's okay. Just
No, it's fine.
and I said to myself, so what do I really want to do? This wasn't my best answer as well.
Nothing is done.
Yeah, I mean, yes is probably the first word they learn, and yes, yes, yes to everything. Yeah. Bloopers. Cut. 5. Can I have some soy sauce? Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Okay, so we start just with something, and then we see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yes, like there's a camera, here there's a camera, you talk to me, forget the cameras.
Okay, yes, no problem.
Yeah, so we are now in Thailand,
Yeah.
right? In a bakery.
Yeah,
That,
Unrak.
yeah. This bakery belongs to the children's home as a
Exactly.
part of the children's home project, and we are volunteering here. So this is the introduction. Yeah, and could you please tell me about yourself?
Yeah.
Just
So
briefly?
I'm Chandra. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Italy. And I decided to come to volunteer here in Thailand as a break from school, but also as a experience for myself, a chance to grow.
No, nice. We were talking about it already before, and
Yeah.
I really want to say that it is a great idea what to do as a gap year from
Yeah.
school. Like I wish I did that in my time when I finished my high school. And yeah, hey, if anyone is finishing high school right now,
Take a gap year. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough that my mother, she inspired me to take this gap year because otherwise I think I may have gone to university immediately.
Your mom did that.
Yeah, because all my friends were already speaking about which university to attend. So I was like automatically thinking, oh, where I'm going next. But then my mother said, you really enjoyed your last volunteering experience, so why don't you just take time and you go like 1 year, won't bother, won't affect your future that much. I mean, on the yeah.
That is so cool. That's exactly the opposite from what my mom did. I was like, oh, maybe I go to travel 1 year and do something else. She was, no, 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 no. You study now, you travel later, you enjoy your life later. Hey! Life is for enjoying,
Yeah,
and also for helping others.
Yeah.
That's what you learn here.
Yeah, I mean, my choice was personal, of course, because I wanted to take some time off. But on the other side, like volunteering is a great experience. I always love to help, and children, especially, I really enjoy their company, and this was the perfect environment.
So, what have you been doing during this time? You stayed for 2.5 months, or
Yeah,
still at the moment?
almost 3 months, but now currently it's 2.5 months. Yeah, and I've been doing some activities with the children, even though they're also quite busy with school. So I was lucky enough to arrive here when they were having holiday. So I had some time to enjoy with them. I did some simple games, some activities, some drawings.
Was it with the smaller children or everyone?
Mostly with the smaller children because they were the ones that where they had more time off, even though they had some work to do, like homework. But eventually, I started doing some asana class, some yoga class with the older boys and girls. And but even with them, they don't have a lot of time during the week. But still, I think that this kind of experience brought something for like it gave me something. I could give something to them. I think it was a great exchange.
And also, you're really involved in the bakery.
Yeah, exactly. So this is was my home. I mean, for almost every morning, and I mean, at the beginning, I wasn't really sure of my role here because I didn't know the workers. I really didn't know how to apply any of my skills here. But after a while, I inspired myself as well to reach something different, to explore the possibilities, and this is a learning place for me as much as for the workers. So like the main goal was to practice English with them as much as we could, and in I wanted to give some kind of lessons, but I'm no teacher, so it was difficult at first to organize some kind of conversations, and I think also it took some time to really get to know each other. And now that I actually feel like I have some kind of bond with some of these workers, it's actually getting somewhere. So we're actually practicing more English. But on the other side, this has been a learning place for me. I had time to explore all the experiences I had here. So, my spiritual path, for example, but also just having conversation with the people coming here, so customers from all around the world. I think I had some nice ways of exploring Thailand, even just from sitting here.
Some different experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like true Asian, true Thai
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
That's not something you actually get on the island.
No. I mean, of course, I am attracted like every other tourist coming, as like every other foreigner, but at the same time, living here and actually having to deal with people from this place for a long time has really given me, like you said, the real experience. I mean,
Learning the true stories of people. Like their stories are, in a way, they are similar to ours because they're like we have similar kind of feelings, right?
Yeah.
Same hearts, right? But at the same time, they went through some very different.
yeah, this was one of the greatest things as well, exploring the same topic, the same emotion as well from different perspectives. I feel like I'm a very open person once I know somebody, but I saw how actually shy the people here are. But this doesn't mean that they're not actually liking you or they don't want to give you anything. It's just a different way to of expressing gratitude, love, and happiness. But after a while, you can clearly see that the intensity of emotions, it's so full.
But at the same time, did you experience this Asian thing of saying yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, everything will be done,
Absolutely.
and nothing is done?
Yeah. I mean, yes is probably the first word they learn, and yes, yes, yes to everything.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
I come.
Yeah.
Then you wait for 2 hours. No one is coming.
I mean, that at first I was really unsure on how to have a relationship with other people, especially for also like the language barrier. But at some point I was like laughing at this kind of events. Like I was asking maybe, oh, do you want to come with me, can I have this, and yes and yes and yes, and I was like, it's okay, it really doesn't have to be that deep anyways. So I'm enjoying also this, and sometimes I also don't understand what they're telling me, so I just say yes, yes, yes.
True Asian experience.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm.
Okay. So you were talking about getting closer with the workers, with the children. Um, was it easy for you?
So I would say it it wasn't so easy. I thought it could have been more easier, especially since they have kind of they had other volunteers coming in the past years, and they had some a relationship with like foreigners. But I mean, I see myself as a open person, extrovert in some aspects, but I think it took me maybe more time than other times to open myself and bond with these children, because there I took a lot of time to just observe their lifestyle. I didn't want to rush immediately in their routine, in their life, but I think after a while, just seeing each other every day, I think that it really got me the opportunity to just feel good first, just about the place and myself. And as when I felt secure enough, like this was a safe place for my mind and for expressing myself, it was easy after. I really didn't need to push myself to conversate with them, and at the same time I they had time as well as they are kind of shy most of the time, and there was more space than I thought it would be, I think.
One more thing I wanted to ask you about is your experience as a yoga teacher for the children. I know it can be really challenging sometimes.
Yeah, it was. So no, I had previously in the past I attended some yoga classes for children. My father is a yoga teacher, and I had a lot of opportunities to watch how children react to yoga and how actually a lesson um, could be organized. But when I came here, I had this very clear idea. I wanted to do this yoga lesson. I wanted to share some of my personal experiences, some knowledge. But as I said before, I didn't think about the kids and their view of the world around them. And so at first, I was a little bit disappointed that I could not actually do as I thought. But at the same time, I realized that it was nice just to see how the children reacted to the environment itself. So they already practice yoga, and I think that maybe I wanted to impose myself too much doing these very organized lessons. So rather than just making it look like a lesson, it was more of a game. So I've tried to do some activities with them and just simple games that are not strictly like yoga related. So there is no kind of meditation, some moments of silence, but it may help them for their yoga practices in general. So I did not what I expected to do, but still I try to approach the topic of yoga in some other ways. So with entertainment, some fun games. So I think that I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted to do yoga with the small children, but I actually had the chance to do yoga as well with the older boys and girls, and I actually enjoyed it doing these yoga lessons with them, half an hour a day. I think it helped me because I mean, I'm older than them, but not all of them. Like we have some years of difference, 2 3 years. So seeing how they reacted to the lessons kind of remind me of myself. I have always known yoga, and but for a very long time I didn't practice it. I didn't approach any of these practices, so I could really see myself in them. That's why I wanted to keep going and just enjoy the moment of being, for once, not on their side but on the teacher's side, to say. So it really had me. It really opened my eyes to about a lot of things, and I really see myself in some of these kids. It's nice.
It is really interesting how it is true that you and the children, that you kind of, in a way, you come from the same background. Like you
Yeah.
come from a yogic family,
Yeah.
and also these children. For people who don't know, we practice meditation,
Yeah.
yoga twice a day, every day, no excuses,
Mm.
no exceptions. So basically, these children grow up
Yeah.
as yogis, but they have not much choice, and it can be very, how you say, can be challenging,
Yeah.
and be
Absolutely.
difficult for the children themselves and for us
Yeah.
as volunteers.
No,
And for people who want
absolutely.
to bring more
Yeah.
yoga to their
Yeah.
lives. Oh, maybe it
I
is
mean,
enough for them
yeah.
already.
Yeah, and now that you're saying it like this, it's true. I've been surrounded my whole life by the same environment, and for a long time, I also saw yoga like an imposition, like a duty I had to fulfill, but not for myself. But that's the difference of me now and me before, like myself years ago, saw yoga as something I had or I used to do because my parents taught me and they encouraged me to do it. But now I am doing it for myself, like I'm willingly doing yoga, and I can clearly see how much I've grown because I see these kids trying to rebel against these practices. And I mean, it's completely fine. That's what's helping me a lot, to see that I don't want to be strict with them. I don't want to uh, put more yoga than necessary in their life, because it's just a path. It takes time sometimes to accept these kind of things, especially if you have been surrounded your whole life by it. And maybe I think a lot of children may feel like I felt, like it was just too much, like it's just every day it's the same thing, everybody's talking about the same things, but you don't really relate to it, so you just want to keep your distance as much as you can. But I feel grateful now that I'm here for myself and for others, and to help them see what I saw as well. So I think it has been a really great experience, very fulfilling.
If I may ask, from your personal experience, what changed in you and your life that you try to find your spiritual path for
Yeah.
yourself again?
It wasn't really just one time, but for many times in the last year, I've been thinking, what do I want to do? I finished high school this year, so everybody was just asking, what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do with your life? And I know that there is much more than just going to study or going to work. And for a long time, I really didn't feel um, that happy with myself, meaning that I really felt flat, like I didn't really have these strong emotions. I didn't have many passions anymore. When I was little, I remember I used to read a lot, I used to draw, I used to be very happy about the world around me, and I wanted to experience it as much as I could. And I think maybe after COVID, not having the possibility to travel as much as I did before also changed my perspective about the future. But knowing that school was going to finish and I had this huge part of my life beginning, I was like, I need to know who I am and what I want to do. And my parents, they taught me everything they know about yoga, and I feel like it is true what they're saying, but I wanted to experience it firsthand. So I said, just do it. I was thinking about it so much, but never actually practicing, never actually applying these thoughts in real life. And I was like, you can keep thinking about it in your mind, but it will never be true unless you try to do it. And that's I said, okay, let's go. If I go somewhere abroad for 3 months, I have no choice but to explore this. And I'm thankful I did. I mean, otherwise I would have been stuck in the same routine, thinking about the possibility of what I could be if I actually pursue another path, but never doing it. And I said, this is the time to do it. I finished high school. I just have to throw myself in this world.
Was it what you expected? I asked already about the duties
Yeah.
and life in children's home, but spirituality in children's home is completely different.
Yeah.
I believe it's not the same as being surrounded with yogis, for example,
No.
or these are the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the vibration here is quite special.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, it I thought it would be more easier knowing that I was going in a place where everybody practices yoga, and I really felt like I would clearly see what I was doing, where everything was leading to. But it's not so easy. It takes a lot of effort, and the children around, they transmit, they share some kind of energy that I was not expecting. So you see every type of child. They're acting in I mean, they have different kind of energies. You see conflicts, you see beautiful moments, and I think everything is part of this general idea. Like the general and the energy surrounding the place is great, but once you just pick and you really see closely how things are going, it surprises me sometimes about the behavior generally of the children and how they react to this kind of practices, and how also they react to people who come here as volunteers. that know already about yoga, and I saw that sometimes the children were inspired by the fact that I already knew what we were doing. Others, they just don't want to think about it still. And I think children are may have been also a great inspiration for me. Like, even though I didn't share so much time with them because of school and other stuff, they really they encouraged me to continue, because even they maybe don't know now what they're living, but when they grow up they'll certainly be grateful for these experiences. And it's just sharing with them, sharing the energy. I know what I'm doing now because I think I'm grown enough to understand it, and I just want to share with them everything I'm feeling now. And they're making me feel something as well. It's thanks to them as well that I feel like I'm home almost. I feel very good because of the children, because you can see every aspect, every emotion of the human being. You can see that in the children, their cry, their joy, their anger, and it's so simple, it's so pure how they express it. Especially when it comes to yoga, you see those who really don't want to do anything, the others who are just really enjoying it, and others are, they're just there. And I think that really summarized the whole experience. And it's so beautiful to see them coming from these little creatures just running around and screaming and shouting.
I can imagine that you came to Baan Unrak with some expectations that you had. So I'm really curious to know about this difference between your expectations and the reality here.
Yeah, I mean, I had high expectations, not only regarding the work, but in general the place. And I think, like, I have met these expectations, but I may have not thought about the difficulty of actually approaching the work, and also the ideas, like um, how to really express my ideas good enough to have some kind of effect on these people. Thank you. I mean, I thought I was coming here with a very design plan, but I didn't think about what actually the children wanted to do, or what actually could have been effective to them. I had this idea based on my thinking of my personal experience, but I didn't think about how they were already living. So it was not me who was giving, like, I was not going to live the same life as before, like the same routine. I'm the one who needed to adapt to theirs. So I think at first I was basically saying, okay, I want to do this, and this is what we are doing, but it doesn't work like this. I had to learn before how things worked here, and then I said, okay, I can do this, I can do that.
I have met quite a few volunteers who come to Bandak to
Yeah.
volunteer, and for many of them, it comes as a surprise that you are not given some exact work to do, but you're actually asked, what do you want to give?
Yeah.
And you have to think of your own schedule, of your
Yeah.
like bring your own ideas here, and this really make this place completely different from every place I have been before,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I don't know
relate.
about your previous
No.
volunteering experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it is different, and for some people it is challenging because they don't
Of
know what to
course.
do. Like for
Yeah.
me, it was challenging in the beginning. Like I was like, so where can I be useful?
Yeah.
There, so what can you do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do anything, but actually nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this place is really waiting for people. Yeah, for people with ideas, with fresh views, with some plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
like to teach something, to do something for activities. But the people like this place is amazing, I think.
Yeah. I relate what you're saying, because I had a previous volunteering experience in Denmark, and we had tasks to choose to follow. So I woke up every day knowing that I was going to do something very precise, And sometimes I also didn't enjoy really much the task, but I know it was my duty. And when I came here, I actually knew that there were a lot of areas in which I could work. Like, we have the children's, there is the bakery, there is actually a lot in the office. And I was actually scared at first because there were so many options and I was not sure on how effectively giving help or giving my energy, like where to put my energy. But I think, like you said, it's very challenging. And at first I was a little bit insecure about my position. I had some ideas. I know that I wanted to give something to this community, but I was not sure on how to displace it, and not having any kind of. It's not about not having guidance, because if I needed something, I could have just asked, but not having a real direction set from somebody else. That's the point. I had to decide for myself. And I think it was very interesting for my personal growth as well. So having the responsibility to develop ideas and to have a plan on how to effectively how do you effectively put it to work. I mean, it was not easy, but I think after a while I had more confidence in myself, and I said, okay, this is my idea, let's see what I can do with this. And I just tried.
And so now soon you're preparing to come back
Yeah.
to, let's call it, normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to finalize, to sum up somehow our meeting here, our podcast, I want to ask you, how do you think this experience will influence your future? Will it influence at all, and in which way?
Absolutely. My idea when I came here was to go back home with an idea of my future, an idea not only about what I want to do, but who am I? I wanted to be able to answer the question, who am I? What do I really like? What do I want to see? Where do I want to see myself in the future? And I think I don't have a um, very deep answer to this, but I know that I have some kind of guidelines now. I'm sure I want to do something with my life, and I want to explore the possibilities as well. I think before coming here, I wasn't really thinking about my future. I was just accepting that I could have maybe done almost anything. I mean, I could have just gone working as a secretary, just doing this and that. But I was not really following any of my dreams. I didn't have any
This
expectations.
sounds very similar to what you can do in Baan. You can
Yeah.
come and do literally
Yeah.
anything. All the roads are
That's
open
true.
for you, and you have to choose something. Otherwise, you do nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's what helped me to grow some more confidence. I came here and I could actually do anything, and I said to myself, so what do I really want to do? I tried different things, and at this point I'm going back with more knowledge of myself. I know myself a little bit better than before, and I am sure that I want to follow some of my dreams. At least I want to follow a path and not just be wandering and waiting for someone to say, oh, you could do this, you could do that. No, I will decide and I will try. If it doesn't work out, I will try something else, but I still want to keep going.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds inspiring.
Oh,
So,
thank
listening
you.
to you, I want to come to volunteer to Baan.
I mean,
Thank you so much for being the first guest on my podcast. I hope this is a big start for me. And I suggest that here we stop, and maybe as we're already in the bakery, maybe we can order some food and have a lunch, and maybe talk a little bit more about something else without cameras. I mean, I think I can have a cake break or something.
ooh, cake sounds good.
Don't forget to press like to support us, subscribe to the channel, and let's meet again with new guests very soon.
I doing right? Yeah.
Can take one foot. Yeah. Help one.
Let's see.
How Chandra and Pai can cook together.
Yeah. Fine. Can I have some soy sauce? Yeah, thank you. Kabun Khan.